full tank of gas. Haters trying to stop me cause I'm moving too fast. I stay rolling on my grind with my money on my mind cause I'm riding, y'all. I'm riding fast, approaching red line. I'm ready to blow. Ballin' till I'm falling, I ain't trying to move slow. Play a holler at you later.
Yeah, Richie 10 Shadow Riders, listen. Yo, I'm on the top of the game. Hard body on top of these lanes. Switching gears in the Maserati. Driving insane as fly as can be. Giovanna rim size 23. Shit, I'm as high as can be. Ladies call me handsome. Way before I did the Shadow Riders anthem. Now I'm sitting in the Black Phantom. More than they can handle. I play the ball hard in the car, cause it's coming out the front panel. What you know about that? But I ain't TIP, I'm RIC, K5. I show you how to stay fly in the daytime. With Shadow Riders on my side, hopping up the G-Ride, I stay live. The boy wonders, not a talk of the town. Toasted up, never boast, yeah, I'm holding it down. Gunning for now, these tough Burger King niggas coming through steady, keeping the crown. While I'm in the fruit punch jag, popping up, riding around. Believe me, dog, this is real as it sounds. Shit.
Shadow Riders Ignitions.
You are now listening to the Shadow Riders Ignitions radio show. All about the JDM life.
Shadow Riders, baby.
Yo, what's up? Welcome to another episode of the Shadow Riders Ignitions radio show. I am your host, Shadow, aka Shadow Riders Leader, aka Shadow Riders Alpha, coming to you once again. Today we're going to talk about JDM Legends, old or new. It's going to be a great show. We'll be right back. Hey guys, did you know that Shadow Riders is the #1 JDM car culture community on the internet? You did it? Well, now you do. Make sure you go check out shadowriders.com. That's SHADDOWRYDERZ.com. Check out the hottest JDM news, events, culture, music, and more. So go check it out. shadowriders.com. Hey, Shadow Riders Army, you want to start your own podcast? Well, Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. Creation tools allow you to record and edit your podcast so it sounds great. They'll distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere, in places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can easily make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. So go on over and download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's ANCHOR.FM. Anchor. Check it out. Peace. There's blood in the streets. The Bonanjoke quality of life is in shambles. The balance of peace on Synergius is in a chaotic mess. The good guys are dropping like flies. Potential new warriors are frightened to death to take a stand. And then Phantom shows up, fearless and defiant. Brace yourself as Phantom charges forward in the most highly anticipated sci-fi story of all time, Phantom Force: The Awakening, available on Amazon Kindle. Get your copy today.
You are now listening to the Shadow Riders Ignitions radio show, all about the JDM life.
Shadow Riders, baby.
back to the Shadow Riders Ignitions radio show, where we got the hottest JDM culture. Hey, make sure that you go follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and go cop one of our brand new Shadow Riders t-shirts. Also, we have Facebook groups on Facebook. All you got to do is go to Facebook, type in Shadow Riders in the search bar, and click on groups. And every group from every different city that we have representatives will pop up. Just find the city that you're in and join the group. And if you don't see your city, you can start a Shadow Riders Facebook group for your city. The reason that we do these is because we want to create a culture in every city where there's actually people with boots on the ground who share a love for JDM culture and who are also fans of the Shadow Riders brand, to have groups where they actually meet up in their city. So that's part of our initiative to create more of a culture with people who actually really interact with each other and see people face to face. Organize car meets, meetups at different JDM events and car shows and everything. So make sure that you guys go to Facebook and join one of our Shadow Riders Facebook groups. And once again, if you don't see your city, go ahead and create a Facebook group for your city and just have Shadow Riders - your city in the heading, and that's how you start that. So yeah, getting on to the show, man, we're gonna talk about JDM Legends, old or new. So I got the idea for this show. I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw this picture, right? And it had a picture of some of the most iconic JDM cars ever, like the first generations of them. So you had like actually some of them were later generations of the first one. For instance, the GTR, they had like an R34 on one side of the photo, right? It was like an R34 Nissan Skyline on the left side, and then on the right side it had the current 2019 R35 Nissan Skyline, the GTR. And then below that it had the RX-7, and it had the FD, not the FC. For you guys that don't know what that means, so the FD is the one right before they start doing the RX-8, which is a serious JDM legend. It's an icon. And then they had, like I said, the R8, the RX-8 on the right side of that. And so you had, it was one picture, but it had the cars stacked like one after another under each other. So it made a row of cars going down. So you had the GTR, the RX-7, the Honda or Acura, depending on where you live, NSX. They had the Subaru STIs, and they had the Mitsubishi Evo, right? So they had them all stacked. Oh, and I can't forget they had the Toyota Supra, old and new, because you know they got the new Supra out, what they call it, the FT1. And so this picture generated lots of thoughts in my mind, and I was reading the comment section of that Instagram post, and you see the same post pop up on Facebook and Twitter as well. You see the same meme, right? They turn it into a meme. It's like old and new, and you got people to talk about different things on the car. For instance, how they did the lights on the new ones versus the old one, the different engines. So I can jump over and talk about, you know, the iconic engine of the GTRs with that RB series twin turbo engine that they put in the GTRs. That engine is iconic, and you got the JZ series engines in Supras, which is like a powerhouse, like a monster. Put twin turbos on that thing. That's one of the most powerful engines you're gonna come across. And of course you got the Mazda, the rotary engine that they put in the RX-7, the FDs, and that thing, man, such a JDM icon. And you got the mid engine that they put in the NSX. It's a mid engine supercar. So the thing that made that engine so iconic was it's like you had a F1 racer that was domesticated, because the F1 engines are kind of placed in the center of the car versus being in the front hood or the back. Like you'll see some cars put the engine in the back. For instance, the Porsches, they got the engine in the back, or a Ferrari, those supercars, they got the engine in the back. Well, Honda said, we'll have a mid-engine car that performs like an F1, but it's domesticated, and that made the NSX a legend. It made it a legend in Japanese import cars. And so you have each one of these cars had their own specific way of attacking performance, and they became icons when it came to competing on the track. They would take these cars out to Nürburgring, and I believe that track is in Germany, and all the different tracks that are in Japan and worldwide. And all these JDM Legends, iconic cars, they started forming stories about how each one performed in different settings. Like you got the drag strip, you got some JDM legendary cars in those eras killed it in the drag strip, and you had for instance, you got the Evos with the all-wheel drive, and the Subarus have the all-wheel drive too, and 2-3 liter engines, smaller engines than domestic cars, than Hemis, but they were kicking ass. They were the guys with Subis, kicking ass. Guys that's got Camaros and Ferraris and Corvettes, and just kicking their ass, whooping their ass with these little Japanese cars that were supremely tuned, and they started creating stories and legends behind them. And people have emotional attachments to these cars, and they have a real like a symbiotic bond or relationship with these cars, man. Emotional response to how they drive, how they feel, from feeling each gear in the gearbox as you shift. It's a real exciting, it's like an excitement. That's why I think men love cars so much, because of these legends. And you go through the trials and tribulations of tuning it, the ups and downs. Like, for instance, all the legends that you hear about a small car, like the Corolla, the AE86, the Toyota AE86, which is a small little box car, hatchback. Small little 4-cylinder engine, but it was nimble, and it was a legend in the Togue. You got guys that race in the Togue in the mountains of Japan and different places in Japan, and that's what created the drift culture, was the AE86. There's a popular Japanese anime called Initial D that celebrates this legend. And recently, the AE86 has the next generation out, which is called the FRS, which is the AE86. You know, I think they call it the FT86 in some places. But you got that car with that same box engine. But I think that this new generation of the AE86 really, they did a good job of sticking to all the good things about the older generation. But when I talk about JDM Legends, old and new, you got some people who say these newer generations of the JDM Legends ain't so good compared to the older generations. For instance, we can talk about the design of the new Supra. You got a lot of guys complaining about the power plant, the engine that comes standard with the new Toyota Supra. They said it's a piece of crap. It's a piece of shit engine. And you got, I saw somewhere, I don't know if it was Super Street Magazine, Import Tuner, or somewhere, you got one guy who took out the new engine from the new Supra and just put the old engine in the new Supra, the JZ series engine. And he's like, this is better. And you got a lot of guys on social media that were giving the guy a hand clap, like, yeah, that's how you do it. Now it's a real car. So you got guys complaining about old and new. And so I'll give it some time, because that new Supra, it has promise. It has promise. I don't like how they did the front, how they built the front of the front body. Me personally, I will take an old Supra over a new one. It's just more of an emotional response I think I can get from driving the older one. Because another thing you can complain about, if you're into the old Legend versus the new, is a lot of these newer generation JDM Legend cars have the onboard computers do too much of the work for you. Part of the excitement racing the car is, I believe, like when you have the opportunity to go through each gear and you feel the vibration and the exhilaration of going through each gear in the gearbox. When you know when to shift, like early shifting and late shifting, or the exact perfect time to shift your car, there is nothing like that feeling. But when you got a computer in the car doing all the work for you, it's not as fun. It's not as challenging. You can't really create a bond with the car, because the computer, the onboard computer, the ECU is doing too much more of the work. Now, you did have Legends, JDM Legends, who got that right. Let's go back to the GTR. The GTR, the R32, 3, and 4, and I will say the 5 too, the R35. All versions, all generations, I think they really got it right with the onboard computer. It was customizable. You can control how much the computer takes over and how much it don't take over. And you can find your own custom experience, like what works for you in the car. So you really can personalize your experience with your car and the ECU. And so I really like how they had, the clutch, the clutch, the gas, and the brake pedal set up, and your shift knob position. I like how it was set up in the GTR models in the past. now you got the pedal shift. You got the toggle shift on the steering column on most of these newer ones. I mean, and that's cool. That's more of a F1 racer type of feel. Like if you're actually in a race car, they have it up there on the gear column, and you toggle it with it's a little featherweight thing. You toggle with your hands while it's still on the steering wheel. But I really like it when the shift knob is there, and you put your foot down on the clutch, and when you're drifting, you have that right combination of gas, clutch, and brake, where you have to slide your foot over and hit two pedals at the same time just to get it right, or hit an e-brake and get that slide right and then shift. That whole feeling is exciting and exhilarating. Now, when you got these newer generations of cars that don't have the shift knob there anymore, and they take there's no clutch or anything, you just got brake and gas, and this flywheel over here, this little knob over here, it takes away from the experience, in my opinion. You got some guys that figure it out, but also you have some versions of the newer generation of JDM Legends that still got all of that included in these current newer models of the JDM cars, like the FRS. Everything's right there. It's still right there. You still got your shift knob. You got three pedals. You know what I'm saying? Real men use three pedals. That's what they say. That's a t-shirt. Hey, go to shadowriders.com and get that shirt. We got that one too. Shameless plug. But you have some things that remained part of the JDM legendary car. You still have some of that in some of these models. I think the Subi still got all that with these newer model Subarus, the STIs, WRX, Imprezas. They still got everything in there. The Evo, the newer version of the 8086, the new NSX, it still got that mid-engine design. But now, see, this is another thing we can talk about. I'm all about having a cleaner environment, but you guys got to tell me what you think about this, man. The newer NSX has hybrid engines. It's got electric engines and it has gas engines. And that's part of the new thing. Now, I haven't seen it on the track yet. I've seen a lot of them show up in car shows all dressed up. I've seen it drag. I've seen somebody drag an NSX. It's pretty fast. But I haven't seen one in the drift circuit yet. I haven't been paying attention. If you guys have, let me know. You can leave a message. There's a link on this podcast. If you go to our Anchor page, you can leave a link. Also, if you want to donate to this podcast, there's another button you can donate so we can keep on doing this. But let me know what you guys think about the new NSX, the new GTR, the new STI, WRX, all the new models. Would you take the new one or the old one? So, and you can say both too. Like, I'm gonna go through the list. Let's see. So for the GTR, I'll take a R32. I'll take the R34, and I love the R35. I'll take all three. Those will go in my garage. Moving on to the Mazdas, right? I'll take the FC. I'll take the FD. So I'll take both of those versions of RX-7. Love those. The RX-8, ain't really feeling it. I had to leave that one. Y'all can keep that one. I ain't really feeling the R8. Next, let's go on to Honda. I would take the latest version of the old NSX. I think the latest version where they stopped making them was 2001. I'll take that 2001 NSX, and I'll take this new one. And I would like to spend a lot of time tuning the new NSX because I think it has a lot of potential. So I'll take the new and the old JDM Legend NSX. Moving on, Mitsubishi. I'll take an Evo 9, Evo 10, and this latest version of the Evo. I'll take that. Moving on, the Subaru. The latest version of the Subis. Right now, I like those better than the older versions. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the latest version of a Subaru. That'll go in my garage. The AE86, I gotta get the old one, and I gotta get the FRS. I gotta have them both in my garage, both of them. Let me see. Am I missing any other icons? I go over all of them, all the ones I want to talk about. And the Supra. For me personally, I gotta go with the old Supra. I'll take an older Supra over the new one. I can't mess with that new Supra right now. I ain't feeling it. I'm sorry. You guys can talk shit about me all you want. All you guys that like that new Supra, I ain't feeling it. Y'all can keep it. Y'all can keep that new Supra. That's a Toyota. Yo, so Toyota got two on this list. The FRS, that's a Toyota. They got it under the Scion brand now. But yeah, I'll take the new AE86 over the new Supra any day. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Which JDM Legend would you take, old or new, in each different brand? Would you take them both or either or? Well, one thing can be said though, old and new, is JDM Legends never die. Alright, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Signing off to that Shadow Riders anthem. Roll it. Peace. Hold up. You know, before I let you go, we got to do the Shadow Riders tradition, the reciting of the Shadow Riders ethos. This is meant to motivate you, inspire you, and form a bond between all of us as Shadow Riders. So here we go. Repeat after me. The Shadow Riders ethos. I will be so strong that nothing can disturb my peace of mind. I will never give up, and I will never accept defeat. I will think only of the best, work only for the best, and expect only the best. I will be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as I am about my own. I will give so much time to improving myself that I have no time to criticize others. I will be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the persistence of trouble. I will think well of myself and proclaim this fact to the world, not in loud words, but in great deeds. I will always surround myself with people who are faithful, accountable, and teachable. I will bring discipline, momentum, focus, determination, will, and tenacity to every challenge. I will always have the courage to follow my dreams. I will always stay humble and down to earth. I will always be real, straight, and authentic with people. I will never forget where I came from and where my true power is. I will always represent myself and my crew with pride and style. And finally, I will be driven because I am a part of Shadow Riders, and together we are unstoppable. All right, guys, peace and blessings to all of you. I love you. Have a great day or night wherever you are in the world. I will see you next time. And now, let's roll that outro. Peace.
Cause I'm moving too fast. I stay rolling on my grind with my money on my mind. Cause I'm riding, y'all. I'm riding fast, approaching red line. I'm ready to blow. Ballin' till I'm falling, I ain't trying to move slow. Play a holler at you later.
Yeah, Ricky 10 Shadow Riders, listen. Yo, I'm on the top of the game. Hard body on top of these lanes. Switching gears in the Maserati. Driving insane as fly as can be. Giovanna rim size 23. Shit, I'm as high as can be. Ladies call me handsome. Way before I did the Shadow Riders anthem. Now I'm sitting in the Black Phantom. More than they can handle. I play the ball hard in the car. Loves is coming out the front panel. What you know about that? But I ain't TIP, I'm RIC. KY, I show you how to stay fly in the daytime. With Shadow Riders on my side, hopping up the G-Ride, I stay live. The boy wonder's not a talk of the town. Toasted up, never boast, yeah, I'm holding it down. Gunning for now, these tough Burger King niggas coming through steady, keeping the crown. While I'm in the fruit punch jag, popping up, riding around. Believe me, dog, this is real as it sounds, shit. Hey yo, excuse me y'all, Ricky Tan's in the building, and I'm on top like gum stuck to the ceiling. Staying fly, getting dough, such a wonderful thing. And my ice fresh out the cold like I'm entering spring. The game's taking over, yup, like a government sting. Shadow Riders, Ricky Tan with a dangerous team, a dangerous scheme. Everybody feel it in the air. I got the spotlight now when I'm making it clear. Switch your style up, time to ride out now. Or put your hands in the air like the kids scored a touchdown. I get love everywhere that I touch down, so don't be mad when your girl gave me a rub down. I'm coming off the top everywhere that I go, so when they say who's the best, yeah, you already know. Yeah, Shadow, let them know this is more than a game. This is more than music. It's a lifestyle, baby. Fast cars, fast money. You know how we do. It's Ricky Tan, Heartbeat Raps, Shadow Riders. It's a dangerous team.